Hello everybody, how's it going? I'm making this video because I had posted a picture of a playtest card that I made, this Bloodstained Mire here. It had a positive response to it, people saying that it looked really good, the quality looked nice, and they wanted to figure out how they could make high quality playtest cards for themselves. So I figured I'd make a short video here to outline the basic steps that I went through for making this, and so let's just jump right into it here. So the first thing I want to note is you really do want a large image. The bigger the image you can find that you're going to use, the better. It just, the end quality ends up being way better if you can find a big image. So that's the first and most important step, I'd say, in the whole process. So yeah, we're going to go to Printer Studio here. Oops, I've got this pulled up here. Let me go back to the main page real quick. So Printer Studio is the website that I've been using. They do all sorts of custom printer stuff. They got electronics, calendars, playing cards, puzzles, whatever. So yeah, we're gonna go over here, go to playing cards. They do have like an option to make your own card game type of thing, but I think the poker cards end up having a better quality finish, so that's what I've been going with. There's obviously, you could do whatever you want, but I think that ends up being the best result, and I think it's cheaper to go that route too. So, um, that's always something to consider. They have play mats over here too, which is kind of cool, I think. So yeah, we're gonna go to poker cards here, 2.5 by 3.5 images. I think that's a little bit different than Magic the Gathering spec, but they're just playtest cards, so shouldn't matter too much anyway. They still fit in sleeves and everything, and you really have to examine it to tell the difference. So for the quality, I usually go with standard 300 GSM smooth there. It's actually the lowest quality they offer, but it's nice and it's the cheapest, and if it's not broken, don't fix it, I guess, right? That's the one I go with. Choose the size of your deck. That's kind of important. I'll get back to that in just a minute. Choose your boxes. You can add plastic boxes, or I think paper boxes if you want. I did the plastic boxes once. I think it was the first time I did it, it was kind of on accident, but they're kind of low quality. If you don't need them, there's no point in doing it. It's like 10 cents per deck, I think, and totally not necessary. I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, choose all that stuff. You can see the different price points for different size decks and everything. I'll get back to that in just a sec here, but so next step here, we're gonna go to personalize it. Alright, so this is the first thing here. They want you to choose if you're going to do any text or background stuff. You don't need any of this stuff here on the right. Just this part's important over here. Same image or different image. You obviously want different images on your card fronts, or else you wouldn't be doing this if you wanted a bunch of copies of the same card. I don't think you need that. So different images here. Wait for that to load real quick. So this is your main, this is where you're going to be loading all these cards in. So I'll just go to upload images here. Oh, I need to show you this real quick. Once you get your image, once you get your art there, what you want to do is, or what I've already done here, I guess, is you load it in. I'm using Paint. I don't have Photoshop on this computer, so bear with me. I just use the dropper tool to pull out the color on the edge there, and then use the paint bucket to fill it all in. You want this thick black border around it. It makes it a lot easier when you're aligning the cards when you load them into the site. So yeah, just get that thick black border around it. To get these white marks out of here, you can get a brush and take care of that. Yeah, and then save that to wherever you're gonna pull it from. So yeah, I'll go back to Printer Studio here. Gonna upload my image. I think I already saved it. Yep. So there it is there. They upload pretty quick usually if you have a decent internet connection. So yeah, they're all going to go into this box here. You can kind of delete them as you go. Once you drag them over here, they're in, so you don't necessarily need to keep them here. I usually just keep them there anyway. But so this is where deck size comes into play. I was doing like these great massive 120, 200 card orders because it was cheaper to go that way. And it's a little bit more expensive to do it this other way, but I think it saves you a lot of time. See, I was doing individual cards here for a play set. And you have to line them up every time, and it takes a lot more time. So what I ended up doing is just doing like a smaller set of 50 cards or 22 or whatever, and just an individual cards, and then when you go to place the order, you can just duplicate the order 4 times, and then you have your play set. It ends up being a little bit more expensive that way, but I think for the time it saves you, it's totally worth it. So yeah, we've got this loaded in here. I'm gonna go ahead and go to edit. There's some options on the side here, different color effects, black and white, sepia, no effect, whatever. Don't need to mess with any of that stuff. There's the brightness down here. That sometimes you can mess with if the card looks washed out or too dark or whatever. You can adjust the brightness if you haven't already done it in whatever image, whatever software you're using, Photoshop or Paint in my case today. So yeah, you're going to get your image in there, then you're going to use this box to line it up. You've got this red dotted line around the edges here. That's kind of telling you where the edge of your card is going to be, and I don't see it here, but I thought I remember reading something saying that they don't guarantee quality, beyond that red border there. I haven't had any problems with any of the ones that I've printed. I've had them go beyond that, and I haven't had like ink bleeding or any weird smudges on the edges, so I wouldn't be too concerned about it, but it is a thing, so I just wanted to mention that real quick. So yeah, we're going to shrink this down. So that's one of the problems you run into if your image isn't big enough. You're going to get this, sorry, to preserve the quality of your print, your image can't be resized any further. That's just saying that I can't shrink this box down anymore. The website actually won't let you shrink it down further than that. I've actually used smaller images that would let me shrink them down smaller, like even to a smaller degree than this one will, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but most of the time it ends up being alright. I think the last time I had an issue, I went back here and I decreased the size of the black border around it. I still left a thick border so it was easy to line up, but I think I decreased it like that and kind of made the whole file a little bit smaller so I didn't have so much going on. Oops. And it let me do it that time, but this one looks alright. That's as small as it's going to let me take it, but if I just center that in that red box there, the border's a little bit thick, but they're playtest cards. We're not too worried about it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that there. Wait a couple of seconds here for this to load. Alright, so that's what the card's going to look like. You just do all your individual cards, then you're going to go through these next steps here until you're going to place your order. The back of the card is going to be the same process that we just went through. It's exactly the same, except for, I think I mentioned earlier, most of the time you're going to want to do just the same image on all the backs, and it lets you choose to do one image for all the backs. Unless you want to double print your playtest cards and do one on each side and stick them in some sleeves, you can flip them around, if you're really trying to save a buck. But yeah, that's how you do it. It takes I think 10 to 14 days or something like that to ship. They're coming out of China or something, so you got to give them a little time. But those are the basic steps. That's how you do it. A little more time consuming, like I said, than just printing them off on printer paper or whatever, but I think you get a little bit more expensive too, but you get a nice finish, and I think it's worth it. So yep, that's how you do it. Thanks for watching and have a good one.